Move. Whatever hand you hit, you move to that side. Left hook, pound. You gotta think of throwing punches. Your job is to throw punches.
With sheep, it will become a sheep.
Anthony Joshua is reportedly training with Mike Tyson as he gears up for his upcoming fight against Jake Paul. Drawing inspiration from classic Tyson-era techniques, Joshua is sharpening his skills with a strong focus on speed, power, and ring strategy. His camp is prioritizing tactical planning and elite conditioning to ensure he enters the ring fully prepared and performing at his absolute best.
Going in the gym, coming forward, punching to the body with his...
Anthony Joshua shared how Mike Tyson inspired him with his power and discipline. AJ has now added Tyson-style neck and shoulder exercises to his training routine. He believes these drills boost strength, stability, and punching power, proving that learning from boxing legends can have a direct impact on modern training methods.
Neck exercise I got from Mike Tyson. A lot of wrestlers do this. Quite dangerous, actually. Physios don't like this type of stuff, but it's good for neck conditioning. It's called neck bridges. And it's flexibility and strength at the same time. So it's a really good exercise if you...
Mike Tyson praised Anthony Joshua as an incredible fighter and advised him to stay active. Tyson stressed that regular fights are essential for improvement, helping sharpen skills, build confidence, and maintain peak performance inside the ring.
You give to somebody like AJ?
That he has a lot of talent and not to get discouraged. He only loses when he quits. When you quit, all the doors of opportunities close. You know what I mean? You have to be game, and then don't get discouraged if you lose. Listen, you just lost, you may have got $30 million. I just think the more time you lay off, the worse you get. You have to fight constantly. To be the best, you have to do.
Anthony Joshua is training intensely in camp, adopting key elements of Mike Tyson's style. He has added specialized neck rolls and strength exercises to build resilience and power, while focusing on conditioning, speed, and technique. These workouts aim to boost punching impact, agility, and endurance, showing AJ's full commitment to refining his skills and dominating in the ring.
Oh, my physio's looking at me like, what the fuck? I can see you looking at me like, fuck, please don't fuck you. Hey, if it goes, at least you're here anyway. You know, 43,000 tuned in. Oh man, oh, I started this shit.
Just do you want to set up the physio table flat to me?
Anything.
Get back up.
Easy.
Yeah.
Showtime sent me a lovely picture of me.
Eddie Hearn has made it clear that he strongly believes Anthony Joshua would defeat Jake Paul if the fight ever took place. While Hearn acknowledges that Jake Paul is not viewed as a top-level boxer or a major figure in traditional boxing, he cautions fans against assuming the fight would be easy for Joshua. He explained that Joshua never underestimates opponents and prepares seriously for every challenge. Hearn highlights Joshua's track record of defeating dangerous and respected fighters, including Francis Ngannou, an elite competitor in his own right. This comparison is important because it shows that Joshua's victories come from skill, preparation, and discipline, not from facing weak or untrained opponents. According to Hearn, Joshua's rigorous training, combined with his power, technique, and smart strategy, gives him the ability to dominate fighters at any level of competition.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua 50-50 fight, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitate's a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him, and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world,
Nigel Benn has voiced serious concerns about the growing influence of entertainment-driven fights on professional boxing. He believes that when celebrities or social media personalities step into the ring, it creates an unfair imbalance within the sport. According to Benn, traditional boxers who dedicate their lives to intense training and elite competition often fail to receive the financial rewards they truly deserve. He points out that purses for highly skilled, competitive fighters are frequently modest when compared to massive sums paid in crossover bouts designed mainly for entertainment. These spectacle-driven fights attract huge audiences, viral attention, and major sponsorships, resulting in enormous paydays for participants who may lack top-level experience or technical ability. Benn argues that this trend risks damaging boxing's integrity, as it shifts focus away from skill, discipline, and long-term dedication, ultimately undermining professionals who have spent years refining their craft.
Bit of rumours around today, Anthony Joshua.
No. I'm not even really entertaining that. It's just not. Being a two-time heavyweight champion of the world, it's I don't know, YouTubers. I'm not really into all the influencers coming in there. And it's like some boxers that really work their butt off, don't get paid like what these guys are getting. And Anthony Joshua being a former world champion, should be fighting like someone in the top 5, top 10. So I really got much to talk about that. Not interested, really.
Bad for boxing?
Well, not bad for boxing. If people want to pay to watch it, then, who am I? I'm just giving you my opinion. Who's not worked his way through the ranks to earn that shot at the former world champion? No, not at all.
Australian boxing. Who are you a fan of? It's got good fighters out there.
Joe's my type of fighter. He's very spiteful, and it's just another level, really. I don't think there's no better cruiserweight around.
Adola Oladipo emphasizes the financial angle surrounding a potential Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight. From his perspective, turning down such an opportunity would be a mistake for Joshua, as the payout could reportedly climb close to $100 million. For a fighter of Joshua's experience, skill level, and championship background, the challenge presented by Jake Paul is seen as relatively low when weighed against the enormous financial upside. Oladipo describes the matchup as a classic low-risk, high-reward situation, where the potential earnings far outweigh the competitive danger. He points out that opportunities of this scale are extremely rare in boxing, even for elite, world-class champions who have spent years at the top of the sport. According to Oladipo, smart fighters must also think about long-term career security and financial stability, not just legacy. He argues that Joshua is uniquely positioned to benefit from this kind of crossover event, as his proven ability, power, and experience significantly reduce the risk. With Jake Paul still relatively inexperienced at the professional level, Oladipo believes Joshua can secure a massive payday while maintaining control of the fight and protecting his career.
One knocks on your door and says, "Do you want to fight Jake Paul for $100 million?" You're like, you'd be stupid to say no. No, I don't want that $100 million for what would be and will be and should be easy work for AJ. Why are you going to turn down $100 million? AJ should and could, should knock out Jake Paul in a round. Like, if Jake Paul was over here fighting under our British Boxing Board of Control, I don't think it would be a Southern Area Cruiserweight champion. AJ is a former unified heavyweight champion of the world that I still believe is a top 10 heavyweight in the world. Like, AJ should be able to destroy him. AJ is going to be 60 pounds or so bigger than him. AJ hits like a truck. AJ is a better boxer. Like, this is...
A large section of boxing fans have strongly criticized the idea of Anthony Joshua facing Jake Paul. Many believe the matchup undermines professional boxing, as it places a proven heavyweight champion against a social media personality with limited experience in traditional boxing. Fans also fear that accepting this fight could delay or completely block a long-awaited clash with Tyson Fury, a far more credible and competitive opponent. For many critics, the proposed bout appears to prioritize financial gain over sporting merit and boxing's rich history. Social media platforms and boxing forums are filled with frustration, with supporters calling the contest a clear mismatch. Some fans even question whether Joshua's long-term legacy and reputation could suffer if he chooses to take part in such a high-profile crossover event instead of pursuing elite competition.
Anthony Joshua gets in the ring with YouTuber Jake Paul, and that's what he is, YouTuber Jake Paul. Would you watch it? Simon, before we take some calls, with this seemingly in the pipeline, can we safely say goodbye to Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury?
Well, I think it's done anyway, judging by the mood music that seems to be coming out from various camps. If you listen to Tyson Fury, he seems to be, despite the fact we've danced this dance before and walked this walk before, he seems to be talking in a very different way. There's no hyperbole. I'm done. This is a younger man's game. I've done my bits. I'm at peace with where I am in life. I don't need boxing anymore. But not in the flash for cash way that Tyson often does it. In a more earnest way is my understanding of his sort of thought processes. So with that in mind, it almost feels that that's off the table anyway. Who knows? The draw of the enormous amounts of money that this one fight can generate. This is the one fight that can really get everybody paid. I mean, the two protagonists. Whatever Usyk takes, tragically for him, he wouldn't even get anywhere near as much money as potentially being offered for the Fury-Joshua fight.
What would earn AJ more of a pay packet? Fighting Fury or fighting Jake Paul?
Well, I would think tragically fighting Jake Paul.
God, what is that?
Because the revenues, because it's a Gen Z TikTok generation that wants to watch sport in a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's nothing critical of them. It's just the way that it is. And that's the circumstances of social media and the platforms that people like Jake Paul are able to cross over. It's not a case of people in the mainstream should be dinosaurs. The digital world and those opportunities and those platforms are marvelous places. And you heard me talking about Mark Goldbridge the other day and the commercial deal that he did with the Bundesliga. And we can be sniffy about their level of content, or we can accept that there's a place for everybody. It's interesting that still the digital world and that's...
Analysts believe Jake Paul's decision to face Anthony Joshua represents a major step up in competition compared to his previous opponents. Unlike the older or retired fighters Paul has faced before, Joshua is an active, elite-level professional who has competed against top-tier heavyweights. This change forces Paul to rethink his training, strategy, and overall mindset, as he can no longer rely on opponents past their prime or lacking high-level experience. Experts point out that while Paul remains a clear underdog, the matchup provides a more realistic test of his skills. It also offers him a genuine chance to show progress, development, and improvement at a much higher level of competition.
Maybe even bigger than the Mike Tyson fight. It's hard to say really. Tyson was a big name, but it's going to do numbers regardless because Joshua is a big name and then people are going to be tuning in to see Jake Paul get knocked out. Right now, Eddie Hearn talks about Jake Paul taking this Joshua fight.
I mean, my estimations of Jake Paul would go through the roof if he signs to fight Anthony Joshua, because I just can't believe in my mind that he would do something like that. I mean, Gervonta was a smart one because of his size. I think actually he would have had a lot of success against Jake Paul, but the size is a problem. But this would just be, like if Jake Paul was to take the fight with AJ, you'd really have to maybe carry his balls in a wheelbarrow on the ring walk, because AJ wouldn't mess around in there, so it would be huge, but nothing to tell you it's close, just a few conversations so far.
Damn right, if Jake Paul takes this fight, he's got some major balls on him. And I know people hate influencer boxing, but come on, he's not fighting an old, retired, past the prime MMA fighter. No, he's fighting a legit boxer who's massive, 6'5", 6'6", jacked, 240, 250 pounds, shredded, power puncher. Do we need to remind ourselves of what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou? Francis Ngannou was coming off a pretty good performance over Tyson Fury. He didn't get the win in that fight, but you could argue that he did actually win that fight. And Ngannou, throughout his entire MMA career, in 4-ounce gloves, very, very rarely got hit. He could take a punch. He's got a big, fat African head. Big, thick neck, traps, back. He just can't really be hit. And look what Joshua...
Shane McGuigan has voiced doubt over whether a fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul will ever become reality. He has described the idea as farcical, raising questions about the practical and logistical factors needed to make it happen. While public interest and media hype are clearly strong, McGuigan believes several obstacles could derail the matchup, including complex contract negotiations, promotional conflicts, and the physical and reputational risks involved. From a sporting standpoint, he also argues the fight may not align with Joshua's goal of preserving competitive credibility. McGuigan's remarks echo wider concerns within the boxing world, where many fear that entertainment value and financial incentives are increasingly being placed ahead of legitimate, high-level sporting competition.
So, Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul reports. What do you make of it? And if we were to see AJ step in with Jake Paul?
I said it yesterday, I'll say it again, I think it's farcical. I just don't see how it's going to materialise. I didn't think the tank fight would materialise, and it didn't. And you know, it's all good saying that you're going to box somebody, and then but until literally they're on the ring walk and in the ring, and I'm not going to believe it.
Away from AJ, would you make of the Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. fight next week?
It's an interesting fight. Haney's up at 147. He looks good. He looks physically good. It's mad to think he's only 26 years of age. Confident-wise, I don't know what that Garcia fight took out of him. Because yes, he tested positive afterwards, but I believe that his Achilles heel is punch resistance, and I think it'll be interesting. I don't know enough about Norman, but I think definitely test him, and maybe Devin Haney will hold a better shot now. He's up at 147. But yeah, it's an exciting matchup. I think it's a.
Analysts have observed a change in how Jake Paul is viewed within the boxing community. Once seen primarily as a celebrity or social media personality, he is starting to earn recognition as a legitimate boxer, largely due to the higher level competition he is now facing. This evolving perception has affected the way fans, trainer, and commentators approach him, fostering a growing respect for his efforts, preparation, and achievements. Analysts emphasize that while this does not place Paul on the same level as elite fighters like Anthony Joshua,
like the one that I was mostly from you was the Anderson Silva one, where Anderson Silva had like one sick round where he's like, whoop, whoop, doing it, but Anderson Silva does and missing everything and cracks him and whatever, and then he just like the next few rounds he's back to like just getting his butt kicked by Jake Paul and walking around, doesn't look the same. But again, I don't think these guys are actually getting dropped to like faking. I think Jake Paul actually has that kind of power. I just feel like they kind of know the deal.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. I make a lot of money. You make a lot of money, not as much money as me, but you make more money than you ever would. So you take it. It is what it is. But I don't know. Kind of sucks to see all these legends really like of the sport. Like, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see this guy's losing to freaking Jake Paul.
I will say I loved everything about the Tyson fight in the lead up, and then as I'm actually watching it, I'm like, this is actually fucked up. My bad.
Yeah, it's like senior.
Even when he turns around,
people are increasingly taking him seriously, recognizing his dedication to rigorous training, his careful study of boxing techniques, and his willingness to face challenging opponents. This shift has significant implications for his career, as acknowledgement of his growing skill may help him attract more serious competitors and secure higher profile fights in the future. Analysts note that, although he is still learning, the fact that the boxing community now views him with greater respect represents a meaningful change in perception. This marks a turning point for how crossover fighters are regarded overall.
Probably know some other stuff like
how much Anthony Joshua made.
Is he in debt? Does he have to do? They know these.
There's an outside motivation to want to do it. Yeah.
And then that's probably why guys like Tyson or whatever would like, well, yeah, I need to pay some bills. Let's do it.
it also gets their name back out there, in a big way.
And it has to be a big enough name that people are interested at all. Yeah.
And I think at this point, Jake Paul is taken a little more seriously than before. Like, if it was the first fight, I think it's a lot different. But then at this point, I think it's more like, oh yeah, it's a thing. It's an exhibition.
It's a model.
This has got to be big money because even Anthony Joshua's last fight that he lost He reportedly earned about 25 million pounds. And when he fought Francis Ngannou in March, he approximately made $50 million.
Wow.
So, like, rumor mill has it so that Jake Paul is set to potentially earn, Jake Paul might earn $92 million.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more.